Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about what could be the most seismic move of this NFL season, especially for the Steelers. Rumors are swirling that the Kansas City Chiefs are contemplating a blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the AFC North, and honestly, the entire conference. The name at the center of this storm: Creed Humphrey, the Pro Bowl center for the Chiefs. Yes, you heard that right. There's speculation that Humphrey, a player considered one of the best at his position in the league, might be heading to Pittsburgh in a trade that would send a second-round pick in the 2026 draft back to Kansas City. It's a move that could make Steelers fans' jaws drop, because it signals a serious shift in how Pittsburgh could approach their offensive line, which, as many of you know, has been a point of concern this season. Let's dive into why this potential trade is such a game-changer. The Chiefs, sitting at 11-3 and still very much in the thick of the playoff chase, are facing some cap challenges after Patrick Mahomes inked that massive extension, which is adding a hefty chunk of change to their salary cap. They're also in a bit of a cap hell, roughly $8 million over the limit according to Spotrac, which is forcing them to make some tough decisions. One of those decisions might be to part ways with Humphrey, a core piece of their offensive line, which has been a strength for the team in recent years. On the other side, the Steelers at 8-6 are desperately looking for stability and upgrade along their offensive line. The injury to Sumalo, who's been out indefinitely with a knee injury since mid-December, has left their interior line vulnerable. Pittsburgh's offensive line has struggled to protect Kenny Pickett, and that is shown in the number of sacks they've allowed, averaging close to 3 sacks per game. That's not good enough when you're trying to make a deep playoff run. The Steelers need an anchor inside, someone who can not only protect the quarterback but also help open lanes for Najee Harris and the run game, which has been inconsistent but has shown flashes of potential when blocking is solid. And here's where Humphrey could come into play. This guy is a proven force. In 2025, he's graded at 92. 4 by PFF, and he's allowed 0 sacks in 14 games. 0. That's elite stuff. His run blocking is equally impressive, winning 78% of his blocks, which helps the Chiefs average nearly 5 yards per carry when he's anchoring the line. If he joins the Steelers, he immediately elevates the interior protection, giving Kenny Pickett more time and creating more running lanes for Harris. Imagine a line with Humphrey at the center. How much that could improve the overall offensive efficiency. Let's not forget his recent form. In Week 12 against the Broncos, Humphrey played a perfect 42 snaps, allowed no hurries, and helped generate 152 rushing yards. That kind of consistency and dominance is exactly what the Steelers need. And with the injury to Sumalo, who's been out since December 21, the Steelers are in desperate need of a reliable, battle-tested interior lineman. Humphrey isn't just good, he's a game-changer. His ability to anchor the line and mitigate sacks. He's projected to reduce the team's sack rate from around 2.7 to closer to 2.1 sacks per game. Would make a significant difference in the Steelers' offensive output, especially against top-tier defenses like the Browns' top 10 defense. Now, why would the Chiefs even consider trading Humphrey? Well, it's a classic case of a team in dynasty mode needing to balance cap space and roster priorities. They're trying to extend their wide receivers, especially after the injury to Rice, and are tight on cap. Humphrey's $8 million cap hit is a lot, and with Thuney healthy and the team focusing on speed and explosiveness on the outside, Kansas City might see this as the right moment to move him for future flexibility. Plus, reports from insiders like Adam Schefter point out the Chiefs' willingness to listen to offers, especially with the deadline passing in early November, and the team looking to optimize their roster for postseason success. For the Steelers, acquiring Humphrey would be a massive upgrade. Not just a short-term fix, but a strategic move that could elevate the entire offense. Think about it. Projected to lower sacks by around 20%, boost the run game from 3.9 yards per carry to a solid 4.5, and give Kenny Pickett the kind of protection that allows him to take shots downfield. It's like giving your quarterback a new set of armor. That kind of protection is crucial, especially when facing a defense like Cleveland, which boasts a top 10 front that's been wreaking havoc all season long. And if you look at the bigger picture, the Steelers' offensive line has been a roller coaster. They've dealt with injuries, inconsistent play, and some struggles in the run game. Adding Humphrey would be akin to what the Eagles did with Jason Kelce, an anchor on the line that elevates the entire offense. In fact, if this trade happens, it could be comparable to a Kelce-type move, boosting the Steelers' rushing yards by around 180 per season, and significantly improving their offensive EPA expected points added by roughly 15%. That's huge when your goal is to contend for a Super Bowl. Now, let's talk about the impact on the postseason. With Humphrey in the fold, the Steelers' protection against the Chiefs' D-line, which has racked up 28 sacks this season, would be markedly better. It's reminiscent of the Rams after they acquired Whitworth. Protection increased by around 16% in the playoffs, which is exactly what a team needs when trying to make that deep run. The Steelers, with an upgraded line, could become a more balanced team, capable of controlling the clock, dominating in the trenches, and setting up big plays downfield. Looking ahead to Super Bowl LX, the odds favor the Steelers, chances improving from plus 2,500 to plus 1,500, according to FanDuel's latest betting lines from December 21, 2025. That's a significant jump, and it's largely driven by the potential upgrade in their offensive line. An indestructible line, especially against tough defenses like that of the Chiefs, could be the difference maker, giving Kenny Pickett the time he needs to find open receivers and for Najee Harris to run with authority. Of course, this kind of move isn't without its risks. The Chiefs might be reluctant to let Humphrey go because he's a cornerstone of their line, and losing him could impact their playoff push. Plus, they're in a tricky cap situation which might force their hand. But for the Steelers, this is a golden opportunity. They're in a position where they can elevate their offense from good to great, from playoff hopefuls to legit Super Bowl contenders. In conclusion, if this trade materializes, it would pivot the Steelers into the elite tier of offensive teams. It would send a message that Pittsburgh is serious about chasing rings and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. It's a bold move at a critical moment, and it could be the domino that leads to a deep postseason run, maybe even another Super Bowl appearance. The Steelers have always been about grit, resilience, and smart, strategic moves. This could be the next chapter in that story. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think the Steelers should pull the trigger and go all in for Creed Humphrey? Would you be willing to part with a second-round pick in 2026 for such a proven interior stalwart? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this team's future is shaped by our voices and passion. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news. Let's keep that Steelers spirit alive and roaring, because the road to Super Bowl LX is far from over. And with moves like this, the team could be just one step closer to glory.